High-quality protein is the single most powerful tool you have to reverse sarcopenia, yet it's the one area most people overlook. After the age of 50, your body undergoes a major shift in how it processes protein. The same amount of protein you ate in your 30s no longer gives you the same muscle-building effect. Your digestive system becomes a little slower, muscle cells become less sensitive to amino acids, and inflammation or insulin resistance can further block protein absorption. This is why so many adults gradually lose strength without even noticing it, until suddenly they struggle to get out of a chair, climb stairs, or carry groceries. But here's the hook: sarcopenia is not just age-related decline. It is a nutritional emergency, and the fastest way to stop it is by choosing the right type of protein, not just more protein. Most people make the mistake of relying on low-quality protein sources like processed meats, plant-based substitutes, or meals that appear high protein on labels yet carry very low biological value. What your muscles need are complete proteins, foods that contain all 9 essential amino acids, especially in the right ratios. Proteins such as eggs, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef, and full-fat Greek yogurt deliver amino acids in a form your body recognizes and absorbs almost instantly. These foods act like raw building material for your muscles. Without them, your body begins breaking down existing muscle to make up for what it's missing. The result is weakness, slower metabolism, poor posture, and even faster aging. A critical part of the picture is something known as anabolic resistance. As you age, your muscles become resistant to the anabolic, or muscle-building signals that protein normally triggers. This means you need not just adequate protein, but high-quality, highly absorbable protein. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. When you consume nutrient-dense protein sources, you bypass much of this resistance and give your body a powerful trigger to rebuild. This is why older adults who switch to clean, complete proteins often see dramatic improvements in strength within weeks. Another important hook is that muscle isn't just for strength, it is a major metabolic organ. The more muscle mass you have, the better you control blood sugar, the stronger your immune system becomes, the healthier your hormones stay, and the slower you age. Protein is the fuel that keeps this system running properly. Without enough of it, your metabolism slows down, fat accumulation increases, insulin resistance worsens, and overall vitality drops. When you increase high-quality protein, especially from natural sources, you begin reversing all of these issues at once. But quality is everything. For example, an egg isn't just protein. It's a perfect combination of amino acids, B vitamins, choline, vitamin D, and healthy fats, all of which improve muscle protein synthesis. The yolk, often feared, is actually where the magic happens. Salmon isn't just high in protein, it's high in omega-3s, which lower inflammation so your muscles can actually use the protein. Grass-fed beef contains creatine, iron, zinc, and B12, a nutrient cocktail that supports strength, energy, and muscle repair at a mitochondrial level. Full-fat Greek yogurt gives you both fast and slowed, digesting proteins, allowing your muscles to stay nourished for hours. High-quality protein also helps stabilize hormones that decline with age. Testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1 all respond positively to clean protein intake. This is why people who shift to nutrient-rich proteins often report better mood, improved sleep, higher energy, and renewed physical confidence. The body begins operating like a well-tuned machine again, and here is the biggest hook of all: reversing sarcopenia isn't a long, complicated medical process. It's not reserved for athletes. It doesn't require hours in the gym. It begins with one simple decision: choosing protein sources that actually support your biology. When you feed your muscles the right raw materials, Your body has no choice but to rebuild, strengthen, and rejuvenate. This is the powerful reality of high-quality protein, and it's one of the most transformative changes you can make after the age of 50. Leucine is one of those nutrients that sounds simple on the surface, yet it holds the key to unlocking muscle growth in a way most people over 50 have never been told. In fact, here's the hook. You can eat plenty of protein and still lose muscle if your diet is low in leucine. This single amino acid acts like the ignition switch for muscle protein synthesis. Without enough of it, your body simply cannot repair or build new muscle tissue, no matter how much protein you consume. This is why so many older adults struggle to gain strength. They're eating protein, but not the right protein. And leucine is the difference between maintaining muscle and watching it disappear year after year. As you age, something called anabolic resistance sets in. Your muscles become less responsive to the protein you eat, so it takes a stronger signal to trigger growth. Leucine is that signal. It directly activates a pathway known as mTOR, the master regulator of muscle building. Think of it as pressing the on button for muscle repair. When leucine levels are high enough, your body receives a powerful message: build, recover, strengthen. But when leucine is too low, your body defaults to breakdown mode, slowly losing muscle even if you feel like you're eating well. Foods that are naturally rich in leucine, like eggs, beef, chicken, turkey, whey isolate, and certain fish, are far more effective for older adults than plant-based proteins or processed protein sources. These foods contain not only high leucine but also balanced ratios of other essential amino acids. This matters because muscle growth is like constructing a building. You need all the right materials in the right amounts, and leucine is the foreman that tells the builders to start working. Without that command, nothing happens. One of the biggest hooks here is that leucine actually helps overcome anabolic resistance. Studies show that older adults need more leucine than younger people to stimulate the same level of muscle growth. This is why a 20-year-old can eat a small portion of protein and build muscle easily, while someone in their 60s may need a more targeted approach. Increasing leucine-rich foods essentially resensitizes the muscles, allowing them to respond again. This is why adding foods like whey isolate or pasture-raised eggs often produces noticeable improvements in strength within weeks. Leucine also plays a critical role in recovery. After a workout or even normal daily activity, muscle fibers experience tiny microtears. These microtears are not damage, they are the starting point for growth. But without sufficient leucine, the repair process stalls. This leads to longer recovery times, more soreness, and ultimately more muscle loss. When leucine levels are adequate, your muscles rebuild faster and come back stronger. This is especially important for adults over 50, whose recovery systems naturally slow down, but leucine doesn't work alone. It partners with insulin, not the fat-storing type, but the anabolic function of insulin that helps shuttle amino acids into muscle cells. When you consume clean, high-quality protein with good leucine content, you create the perfect environment for growth: stable blood sugar, controlled insulin, and a strong anabolic trigger. This combination helps maintain lean mass, support hormones, and keep your metabolism active. In other words, leucine makes your protein count. Another major benefit of leucine is how it influences appetite and fat loss. High leucine proteins are incredibly satiating because they stabilize blood sugar and help regulate hunger hormones. When your meals contain enough leucine, cravings decrease, overeating drops, and your body naturally shifts toward burning fat instead of breaking down muscle for energy. This is why older adults who increase leucine, rich protein often notice changes in body composition, not just more muscle but less belly fat and improved metabolic health. Here's the most powerful hook. Leucine is one of the few natural compounds that can genuinely reverse age-related muscle decline. It doesn't just slow it down, it actually boosts growth potential back to a younger level by reactivating pathways that have become dormant. Think of it as flipping the biological switch that aging tried to turn off. When your diet consistently includes leucine-rich foods, you restore your body's ability to build muscle, stabilize energy levels, and maintain physical independence. In the end, leucine is far more than an amino acid. It is a signal, a catalyst, and a tool that allows your body to maintain strength and vitality long after most people think muscle building is impossible. By prioritizing foods rich in leucine, you give your body the very message it has been waiting for: rebuild, repair, and stay strong. Inflammation is one of the most overlooked reasons older adults struggle to build or even maintain muscle, and here's the hook. You can have a perfect diet, a great workout plan, and still lose muscle if inflammation is silently working against you. Chronic inflammation acts like a barrier that blocks the very processes needed for muscle growth. It interferes with protein absorption, disrupts hormone signaling, slows down recovery, and weakens muscle fibers from the inside out. Many people assume that muscle loss is just a result of aging, but in reality, inflammation is often the driving force behind the rapid decline in strength, stability, and mobility. When you lower inflammation, your muscles finally gain the freedom to grow again. To understand the connection, you need to know what inflammation actually does at the cellular level. Inflammation elevates cortisol, a stress hormone that breaks down muscle tissue to release amino acids into the bloodstream. This is the body's survival mechanism, but when cortisol stays high due to chronic inflammation, muscle breakdown becomes constant. You could be eating protein all day and still losing muscle because cortisol is dismantling it behind the scenes. That's why older adults with inflammatory issues often see their muscle mass drop faster than normal, even when they're doing everything else right. Inflammation also disrupts anabolic hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1, all of which are essential for muscle building. These hormones normally send strong signals to your muscle cells, telling them to grow, repair, and strengthen. But when inflammation is present, these signals become weak or distorted. Think of it as trying to tune into a radio station with heavy static. You can't receive the message clearly. Your muscles don't respond well, the growth switch stays off, and you experience ongoing weakness, fatigue, and slower recovery. This is why anti-inflammatory proteins are so important. Foods like wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, and other cold-water fish contain omega-3 fatty acids that directly lower inflammation at the root. Omega-3s help stabilize cell membranes, reduce oxidative stress, and balance pro-inflammatory pathways that interfere with muscle repair. In fact, here's another hook. Omega-3s actually enhance the muscle-building effect of protein. They make your muscles more sensitive to amino acids, which means your body gets more benefit from every meal you eat. This is a game changer for anyone over 50 who has struggled to gain or retain muscle. But inflammation doesn't only come from diet. It can also come from insulin resistance, poor sleep, chronic stress, nutrient deficiencies, or even hidden gut issues. When your gut is inflamed, your ability to absorb protein drops dramatically. You could be eating excellent sources of protein, but your body may not be absorbing the amino acids efficiently because the digestive system is compromised. This is another reason anti-inflammatory proteins matter. They are easier to digest, easier to absorb, and more bioavailable. Sardines and salmon, for example, digest smoothly and provide not just protein but key nutrients like vitamin D, calcium, selenium, and B vitamins that support metabolism and hormonal balance. One of the most powerful aspects of lowering inflammation is how quickly the body responds. When inflammation drops, muscles begin repairing faster, soreness diminishes, energy increases, and protein synthesis becomes more efficient. Many older adults report that after adding anti-inflammatory proteins to their weekly routine, they feel stronger, lighter, and more stable. Joint pain decreases, stiffness reduces, and they finally experience the muscle growth that had been stagnant for years. This is because lowering inflammation removes the brake that was stopping progress all along. Inflammation also plays a major role in recovery. After activity, even simple daily movements, muscle fibers experience microtears that require repair. But if inflammation is elevated, the repair process becomes slow and inefficient. You feel more sore, more stiff, and more fatigued. This leads people to become less active, which accelerates muscle loss. When you reduce inflammation, recovery accelerates. You heal faster, perform better, and your body becomes more willing to build new muscle. Here's the most important hook of all. Fighting inflammation isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Inflammation is tied to nearly every age-related decline. From reduced mobility to hormonal imbalances, weaker bones, slower metabolism, and lower energy. By choosing protein sources that actively fight inflammation, you give your body the tools to reverse muscle loss at the root. You restore the environment in which muscle can grow, thrive, and remain strong. Inflammation may be invisible, but its effects are life-altering. When you remove it, everything begins to improve: strength, stability, metabolism, hormones, energy, and ultimately your ability to stay independent and active. And it all starts with the protein you choose. Nighttime protein is one of the most powerful, underrated strategies for preserving muscle as you age, and here's the hook. While you're asleep, your body is either *** building muscle or breaking it down ***, and the outcome depends almost entirely on what you ate before bed. Most people don't realize that during sleep, the body enters a long fasting window. If you don't have enough amino acids circulating in your bloodstream, your body has no choice but to tap into muscle tissue for fuel. This is why so many older adults wake up feeling stiff, weak, or sore without doing anything strenuous the day before. Their muscles were breaking down all night long because there wasn't enough protein to sustain repair. But the right kind of protein before sleep flips this entire process in your favor. Slowed, digesting proteins like casein, found in cottage cheese and full-fat Greek yogurt, are designed by nature to release amino acids gradually over several hours. This slow and steady release is exactly what older adults need, because it keeps blood amino acid levels high throughout the night, preventing muscle breakdown and supporting continuous repair. Think of casein as an overnight delivery service for your muscles. It doesn't hit all at once like whey protein. Instead, it provides a steady drip of nutrients that protect your muscle fibers while you rest. This is the ultimate nighttime insurance policy for preserving lean mass after 50, but here's where it gets even more interesting. During sleep, your body releases growth hormone, one of the most important hormones for muscle repair, fat burning, and recovery. But growth hormone can only do its job if amino acids are available. Without enough protein, that powerful hormone has nothing to work with. It's like having a team of construction workers show up to repair a building only to find out there are no tools or materials. They can't get anything done. When you consume slowed, digesting protein before bed, you provide the exact materials needed for growth hormone to build, repair, and strengthen your muscles all night long. Another key aspect of nighttime protein is its impact on metabolism. People over 50 often struggle with slower metabolism and overnight glucose fluctuations. Casein-rich foods help stabilize blood sugar throughout the night, reducing cravings, improving sleep quality, and preventing insulin spikes that lead to fat storage. This is why many older adults who start eating cottage cheese or Greek yogurt at night not only build more muscle, but also wake up feeling lighter, more energized, and more balanced. The body finally gets the steady fuel it needs to work efficiently. Nighttime protein also plays an important role in reducing morning soreness. Many older individuals wake up with joint stiffness, muscle aches, or a feeling of tightness. This often happens because their muscles didn't receive the nutrients needed to repair microtears that naturally occur during daily activity. When you supply a slowed, digesting protein source, you give your muscles the raw materials they need to recover overnight. Instead of waking up stiff, you wake up smoother, stronger, and more mobile. Suddenly, the first steps out of bed don't feel like a struggle. This is one of the most noticeable benefits people report within just a few days of adding nighttime protein. But the real hook is this: nighttime protein doesn't just prevent muscle loss, it actually enhances muscle growth. Your body performs the majority of its repairing, rebuilding, and regenerating while you sleep. If you feed that repair system properly, it becomes incredibly efficient. Your muscles recover faster from activity, gain strength more easily, and maintain their size even as you age. This is crucial because sarcopenia accelerates significantly during periods of inactivity, illness, or poor sleep. Nighttime protein provides a buffer against these setbacks, keeping your muscle building machinery active even during vulnerable times. Another overlooked benefit is that nighttime protein supports hormonal balance. As you age, hormones like testosterone and IGF-1 tend to decline, and these hormones are essential for maintaining muscle mass. High-quality protein in the evening helps stabilize insulin, supports better sleep, and provides the amino acids needed for hormone production. Better sleep alone increases testosterone and growth hormone naturally, creating a cascade of benefits that protect your muscle and metabolism. And here's the final hook. This approach is incredibly simple. No supplements, no complicated meal plans, no expensive routines. Just one serving of a high-quality, slowed, digesting protein before bed can completely shift your overnight muscle metabolism. For older adults, this single habit may be the easiest and most effective way to fight sarcopenia, improve strength, and wake up with more energy and stability. It's a small change with massive results, and it turns your nighttime hours into a powerful window of muscle protection and repair. As you age, the relationship between protein and micronutrients becomes far more important than most people realize. And here's the hook. Asterisk asterisk, you can eat all the protein you want, but without the right vitamins and minerals, your body can't actually use it to build muscle. Asterisk asterisk, this is one of the biggest hidden reasons why older adults struggle with sarcopenia. They assume that increasing protein alone will solve the problem, but protein is only half the equation. Your body needs specific cofactors, especially vitamin B12, vitamin D, zinc, and iron to activate muscle protein synthesis, support hormones, and power the metabolic processes that keep your muscles strong. Without these nutrients, the protein you consume doesn't get fully absorbed, doesn't get delivered to the muscle cells effectively, and doesn't trigger the growth response you're hoping for. Vitamin B12 is one of the most critical players. It's essential for energy production, red blood cell formation, and DNA synthesis. When B12 levels are low, and deficiency is extremely common after 50, your muscles don't receive enough oxygen, your energy drops, and your ability to build muscle becomes impaired. Even if you're eating high-quality protein, your body can't break it down and utilize it efficiently without adequate B12. This is why foods like grass, fed beef, salmon, sardines, and organ meats are so powerful. They deliver highly bioavailable B12 along with complete protein. The combination creates a metabolic environment where muscles can grow, repair, and respond quickly. Another nutrient that plays a massive role is vitamin D. This isn't just the sunshine vitamin, it's a hormone that directly affects muscle strength, balance, and protein synthesis. Low vitamin D levels can cause muscle weakness, slower recovery, and reduced performance during daily activities. Many older adults don't realize that vitamin D deficiency can mimic the symptoms of sarcopenia, making them feel weak, unstable, and fatigued. The hook here is that vitamin D also improves the absorption of calcium and supports neuromuscular function, meaning your muscles and nerves communicate more efficiently. Foods like salmon, sardines, and egg yolks naturally deliver both protein and vitamin D, making them ideal for reversing muscle loss. Zinc is another crucial nutrient that works hand in hand with protein. Zinc supports testosterone production, immune function, and cellular repair. Without enough zinc, your recovery slows down, your hormone levels decline, and your ability to build muscle is compromised. This is especially important because hormonal decline is a major factor in age-related muscle loss. Foods like beef, lamb, seafood, and liver supply the perfect blend of zinc and amino acids, giving your body the tools it needs to restore strength and vitality. The hook is that zinc also helps regulate appetite and stabilize insulin, both of which influence muscle growth and fat loss. Iron plays a foundational role as well. Iron carries oxygen to your muscles, powers your mitochondria, and supports endurance and strength. Low iron leads to fatigue, weakness, and decreased muscle performance. Many older adults unknowingly suffer from low iron, which makes muscle building feel impossible. Foods like red meat and organ meats provide iron in a form the body absorbs easily. When combined with high-quality protein, iron enhances energy output, enabling your muscles to train, recover, and grow more effectively. But what makes all of this more compelling is the synergy between protein and these micronutrients. Protein doesn't function in isolation. Your body needs these vitamins and minerals to break down amino acids, transport them to muscle cells, support hormonal signals, and fuel mitochondrial activity. It's like trying to build a house without nails, tools, or fuel for the workers. You might have the materials, but you don't have what you need to put everything together. This is exactly why nutrient-dense protein sources outperform processed or low-quality protein powders. Beef, eggs, salmon, sardines, and organ meats provide not just amino acids, but the micronutrients that allow those amino acids to be used effectively. This is also why people who shift to nutrient-rich protein foods often notice improvements in mood, mental clarity, sleep, metabolism, and recovery, not just muscle strength. These micronutrients support neurotransmitters, hormone production, energy pathways, and immune health. When your micronutrient levels rise, your body becomes more responsive, more energized, and better able to repair itself. Here's the most important hook. **** muscle growth is not just about protein, it's about metabolic intelligence. ***, your body needs the right combination of nutrients to activate repair, strengthen muscle fibers, and keep your metabolism running efficiently. When you choose protein sources rich in B12, vitamin D, zinc, and iron, you're not just building muscle. You're supporting your entire biological foundation. This is the difference between simply eating protein and actually transforming your muscle health after 50. Here is a **600 word professional engaging hook driven expansion for key point 6 **. Crafted in Dr. Eric Berg's tone and style without headings or conclusion words. If there's one thing people over 60 consistently overlook, it's the silent role that nighttime recovery plays in shaping their muscle health, metabolism, and overall vitality. Most individuals think muscle loss is simply a natural part of aging, something that just happens and can't be reversed. But here's the hook. What your body does while you sleep is far more critical than what you do in the gym, and the difference between waking up stronger or waking up weaker often comes down to one overlooked factor: your nighttime nutritional status. You could be eating all the right foods during the day, but if your muscles go through the night without the amino acids they need, the body has no choice but to break down your own muscle fibers to meet essential demands. That means you're losing muscle not because you're inactive or old, but because your body simply lacks the building blocks during its deepest recovery window. The problem becomes more pronounced with age because the body's ability to absorb nutrients decreases and protein synthesis slows down dramatically. Imagine trying to build a wall with fewer bricks, weaker cement, and a shorter time window to get the job done. That's exactly what happens in the aging body, and that's why making sure the right nutrients are available exactly when your body is primed to use them is crucial. This is where the power of targeted nighttime nutrition comes in. When you supply the body with slow-release amino acids before sleep, you essentially give your muscles a steady drip of support throughout the night. This keeps the body from catabolizing itself and instead pushes it toward repairing, regenerating, and strengthening. Here's another hook that surprises many people. The body does not build muscle during your workouts. It builds muscle during recovery, especially deep sleep. Your growth hormone spikes, protein repair turns on, and your tissues begin restoring themselves like a construction crew working after hours. But that crew can't work if they don't have materials.